To make an English sentence, we need to know what an object is. But there are two types of object, direct and indirect. With a direct object, we have a noun that the action of a sentence affects. They bought the company, for example. The action is bought, coming from the word to buy. And what does that affect? It affects the company. So the action is relevant to the company. Most objects are direct objects, but we can also have an indirect object. Here we will have two objects. We will have the direct object and the indirect object together. What is the indirect object? It's a noun that tells us what the direct object affects. Look at the example here, where we have added the indirect object in orange. They bought me, the company. So me is an object, the company is an object. The company is still the direct object because it is the noun affected by the verb. So in this sentence, we don't mean they bought me. If they actually bought me, then I would be the direct object. But that's not what we mean. They still bought the company, but me has a different purpose here. Me is who the company was bought for. We can also put it another way round, which perhaps makes it easier to understand. So alternatively, they bought the company for me. So the indirect object is telling us here, really, what the direct object affects. The direct object affects the indirect object. The company was bought by the people. They bought the company for me. So the people bought the company, but their intention was to then give it to me as well. So here the indirect object goes after the direct object, connected by a preposition. And this probably makes the relationship between the direct object and the indirect object clearer, but it's important to know we can switch it around without the preposition. So going back to the previous slide and put the indirect object between the verb and the direct object. So important to know how those work together, how to still identify the direct object and what the purpose of the indirect object is.